Before we get into specific examples from the Know Your Enemy Guide, I would like to quote from the address of Colonel Richard Green, Doctor of Biology, the foremost human authority on Darmuk science, to the West Point graduating class. The most important thing to remember when dealing with Darmuk bioforms is that they are based on Earth organisms. When in doubt, return to the nature of the original unmodified creature and seek out behaviors that are endemic to it. The next place to seek weaknesses is in the genetic modifications that Darmuks have performed. These genetic tack-ons invariably present with weaknesses that can be exploited. To examine some of the entities in the Know Your Enemy Guide and use them to illustrate how best to understand the information therein. All values are given in a 100-point scale, with the average human defining the 50-point mark, while the appropriate current world record holder will define the 100-point mark. You may notice that many Darmuk bioforms values are above 100. This is not a typo. Battle Apes. We begin with the official name of the creature. Deployment. Foot soldier. Deployed in groups of 100 under a field commander bioform. This lists the capacity they serve and may have additional information as to mode of deployment in brackets. Senses. Here, a basic breakdown of the bioform's sensory capacity. Pay attention to this. If you ignore it, you may think that a battle ape can't see you in the dark because you can't see it. If you make that assumption, it is likely to be the last assumption you make. Dexterity, gross motor, 90, fine motor, 30. In some cases, the guide will break an ability score into its subcomponents, where these have bearing on the creature's combat effectiveness. Constitution, 110. Constitution in the Know Your Enemy Guide is not disease resistance, which is of little or no concern to field troops. It is more a generalized expression of how much injury it would take to kill the Darmuk bioform in question. Obviously, there will be variations between individuals. Natural armor 50, skin and fur. The purpose of this rating will become more apparent when we discuss interpreting insect-based bioforms. Weapons. This troop type can and do use any human-style weapon, but they have a preference for closing and doing hand-to-hand combat. This is a listing of weapons as tools, not armaments that are a biological part of the bioform. Preferred attack mode, hand-to-hand combat. It is important to note that this is only a preference. All the bioforms can alter behavior to be more effective killing machines. Vulnerabilities. Battle apes are undisciplined and prone to intoxication. Leaving fruit injected with alcohol in their path will lead to them becoming intoxicated and passing out. This is your reference to techniques that have worked in the past against these bioforms. Pause the video at this point and study the entry on battle apes in your Know Your Enemy Guide. Find 5 ways that the information in the guide could be used to successfully enhance your chances of survival and victory, and write them in your workbook. This video has been brought to you by War of the Worlds 2030, available from Damnation Press. When the Darmuks came calling, they were welcomed as an older brother, and then they turned. And now man struggles to survive against armies of genetically engineered mutant beasts. For more about War of the Worlds and the other fine works of Stephen B. Pearl, please visit my website at www.stephenpearl.com. That's www.stephenpearl.com. That's Stephen with a PH.